My name's Casper Lee, and as a creator, I've been lucky enough to interview some of the world's biggest stars. Now, I'm traveling around the globe to meet the best in the game and learn about the state of women's football. You might be asking yourself, why am I carrying these bags? Well, I've got some really important guests coming around my house. Last week, on The Other Half, we spoke to some major people in the WSL, and this week, I want to talk to some top international players post-World Cup 2019. Nothing is off limits. We're in my house. Let's go. Oh, jeez, someone put a lock on the door. I mean, gosh. I have some snacks because I know how much people love snacks, and it's a great way to make friends. Got your mince pies, cheese, I should know what that is. Biscuits, let me take this off, I'm overheating. Stuffed cherry peppers, beautiful. You got your napkins. Not that I promote drinking alcohol, but I know athletes love a glass of wine. And why not have some milk chocolate cookies? These people are burning more calories than you can think of. They don't care what they eat. Exciting times ahead, I'm really nervous. Whew. Hello, hi, how's it going? Welcome to my crib. I just called it a crib. Nice to meet you too, welcome. So do you think other people are going to turn up? I can actually look through this thing. I've never tried it before. Actually, it doesn't work. Hello? Watch how quickly I'm going to open the door as soon as they knock. Hello! Sorry. Do I look ridiculous?
You look great.
Thank you. Welcome.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I can't really see anyone.
Really scary.
I can see through my nose. Hey! Oh my gosh, no one's here. I don't know where the other two are. Do you think they're
Lost?
If you see any footballers walking around, can you just tell them to come up to my crib? Alrighty guys, thank you for coming. I got my big black book of questions. You nervous?
Yeah, I am now.
What was the one moment that you remember, okay, I'm going to decide now I'm doing it professionally?
I just remember like so well being really young and playing football all the time and going into like school every new year, and like the teacher would be like, oh, what do you want to be when you're older? And I would always just say footballer, and that was when I was like 5, 6. They always asked like, can you even do that? And I was just like, yeah, like I'm sure you can. That must have always just been in my head, and I've been really fortunate to kind of have the opportunities I've had and make it to, you know, professional.
I was playing for Glasgow City, and we'd played Turbine Potsdam in the last 16 in the Champions League, and we kind of were just really naive, and we thought we'd go out there. And I remember before the game we were just laughing. We were like, oh, would you take a draw tonight? We were playing over in Germany. They'd just won the German league. Would you take a draw tonight? We were like, nah, we won't take a draw. We want to come here and win. And that was the first game we got beat 10-0. But for some reason that was kind of my big break. I don't know what the guy saw in me, but basically from that game I got contacted through Turbine Potsdam to say, listen, we like the look of you, do you want to come and trial? That was kind of my big break, if you like. That was my first professional contract.
I'm probably still waiting for my moment. No. Probably only recently I can fully appreciate being a full-time footballer. I get to go in, my breakfast. I don't have to wash my own kit, I don't have to do all that kind of stuff. So I guess you could say now I'm finally like living the dream. I guess I thought I was a little kid.
How old were you when you started playing professionally?
Yeah, I was 14 when I signed my first contract. I think I've always been really lucky. Like, my parents are really supportive. My dad is a big football fan, my mum is a big football fan. My dad always used to say to me that he used to be a good player. Don't really believe it, but
like me.
On one point, like, I was playing with the boys and we were playing against like the big teams, and then I got scouted by one of the clubs in Holland. And I kind of had to choose, like, do I want to keep playing with the boys or do I go to the women's team already now? And then obviously quite a hard decision when you're 14 years old and you go on trial, and like the woman sitting next to you in the locker room is like 30 years old, and like she already had 2 kids at that moment, and I was like, oh, like it's going to be a big change.
Yeah, I think for me, I grew up here in England anyway, so I was playing at academy, and then I moved to New Zealand, so it was a big shift because football wasn't as big there, so I kind of got thrown in with a women's team at the age of 14, 15. So that was a big step, but now looking back, that's probably what's kind of maybe the player I am.
So speaking about cheese and France, you all obviously played.
Oh, nice, thanks.
What was the difference between this World Cup and your previous World Cup?
Everything, for me anyway. Going to France, I think even like the media, like everyone and everything around it, I think it was just such a massive growth for women's football to see this World Cup comparing to the other one.
Do you have any funny fan experiences from the World Cup?
I do think our fans are the best. Yeah, to be fair.
Your fans are unreal, honestly.
Yeah.
But your fans are so good-natured as well. Like, it's just pure, like, good football fans.
Even now when we drive up to the stadium, like there's like 10,000 people standing outside the stadium just to like wave us in. It's still so surreal for us. We're really lucky.
Can everyone kind of give me like their experience of the most recent World Cup in a sentence?
Short-lived.
Oh, good. Disappointing.
Enjoyed it till the last day.
I'd also say disappointing, yeah, as well.
A bit of a roller coaster, I think, for us. Yeah.
Does anyone have any really funny stories from the World Cup?
We nearly died as a team, I reckon.
What?
Yeah, like our plane, like
That's not funny.
No, but it hit an air pocket and like it went down like about 500 feet. Like it plummeted. Got on the plane, was all fine and that, and then hit a bit of turbulence. The lady took the drinks cabinet away and she started putting on a seatbelt and that. And you start thinking, flight attendants looking shifty. Like, is everything okay? And then like we went from really patchy. That's what we were saying. So that the plane starts going up and down. The lady who does like the comms was at the back going, "Oh my God, we're going down."
Shut up!
Shut up! Our assistant coach has got the phone out calling like her
not,
wife and the kids. Yeah, no, I'm not. Like literally, and then the next point is we just like, and the guy came on, he was like, "Sorry about that. We hit an air pocket we didn't see." The flight attendant then's like, "Anyone for champagne? I think we all need it after that." And all of us were like sat there. People had been crying. I mean, it wasn't funny. I mean, we could look back and say it kind of was, seeing people's reactions, but it was an interesting moment.
Do you think as the commercial size grows and becomes similar to the men's game, do you think the money will follow in the same trajectory, or?
Our men's team didn't qualify for the Euros and for the World Cup, and you kind of could see like the women's football boom coming up, and instead of having the male players on your TV, like we were on the TV, and from there on obviously like we got a better deal, and we're not having equal pay, but we do get paid in what we probably deserve to get paid, and that's a really good step for us, and I am pretty sure as well that in the next coming years we're only going to keep growing.
We want brands to be invested in the women's team as much as the men's, or just in the women's team, because that makes more sense. They're going to be more proactive in what they're doing. Let's have something different, or someone different who wants to be part of us and can help us grow. Naturally, with more visibility becomes more money.
What teams are behind?
Just like in the men's teams in the Premier League, if your men's team's not doing well, the last thing they're probably going to invest in is their women's team.
We've just started to qualify for these major tournaments, and I think with the success, for example, that you guys have had, you are entitled to way more money than what we could ever dream of, really.
We're really lucky that we've got an association that's got a lot of money, that's got the ability to actually put money into women's football. Like some countries just don't have that. That's just going to be the difference that there is, and that's obviously like one of the biggest concerns as well in women's football. I think like we need to get all the countries on board.
I think that's been our struggle as a national team, is it's just the funding. We haven't had it since I've been involved now, I think 13 years. The All Whites and men's team have never really succeeded on the world stage and probably never will. Therefore, we get kind of the backlash of that. Something needs to change within the Federation of New Zealand to help us really moving forward. I don't think we'll ever achieve or get to the higher levels of what we kind of deserve and what we could achieve if we had the support.
With women's sport, we're always so reactive. It's like the chicken and the egg, what comes first? Do you want to help the game grow so it's successful, or do you want to just jump on something when it's successful?
I've only been in the WSL a short time, 2.5 years, but I notice even a difference from after the World Cup. The teams all being professional, the fans, the opportunities to play in the stadiums. Even yesterday we got to play in the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Absolutely unreal. You can see it with the Lionesses. It's good to see that women's football is coming on, and it's having a massive impact domestically and in the league structure as well.
So it's good to hear it's not necessarily waning and going down since the World Cup.
It can't really be any easier for England right now. Like they've got the Olympics coming up next summer, and then they've got the Euros coming up in England the summer after that. If there wouldn't be any interest right now, there would never ever be any interest. So like it's really easy to obviously keep the momentum going and like keep building up women's football, keep making it big.
Do you feel like there are a lot of young players coming, chopping at the heels, as they say, trying to take your places in the teams?
I think we're really lucky. I think due to probably our league and how successful it's been, how strong it is, how strong teams are, we've been able to place young players in a full-time environment and allow them to flourish. We're actually really blessed as an English side to have such good young talent.
Thank you guys so much for spending time with me. I really appreciate it. I'm usually quite lonely, so yeah, I really do appreciate it. Anyway, if you guys want to hang out a bit longer, that's fine as well. So I'm done with the interview though. So.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine. I love making new friends. That's why next week, on The Other Half, we're going to be talking to the friendliest people on the planet, the referees.